In 2011, we responded to pretty much a crisis at Royal High School, met with the assistant principal, and they wanted to do something about students committing suicide in the school because a couple of suicides had happened. And we ended up doing some assemblies, and then we ended up doing after-school mentoring. Summer rolled around, we ended up doing Hip Hop Hope. So from 2012 all the way to 2015, I had this time of being in the community, doing Hip Hop Hope in parks, in front of a house, in a field, in all these different places.
We rented a house here in the community, and we called it the Mission House. And so it was our base of operations for all the work we were doing here in Brookshire. On nights, we would have Hip Hop Hope small group nights. I'd have 50 or 60 kids in this house, and we'd have them split up 10, 15 kids in every room. And we'd have people sitting on the floor, people sitting on the couches, and it was packed, man.
I remember going and preaching at a church called Deerbrook Baptist Church in Humble. One of the supporters of my mission trips that I would go on was there. And afterwards, he was really touched, and he pulled me aside and he said, if there was one thing that I could do, make happen for you in this ministry, what would it be?
Trey basically said, I really don't want to get in the business of having a building, but the youth of Brookshire don't have anything. They don't have anything safe to do. And really, if I were going to do anything, I'd want a community center for the kids of Brookshire.
And he said, I'll tell you what, if you pursue that vision, I'll match $1 for every dollar that you raise. And that just set me in motion. And I was like, we got to take advantage of this opportunity. And had a fundraiser in 2015 at the Hemi Hideout and raised a decent amount of money, but I quickly learned that it wasn't enough.
We would pursue every avenue to try to find where God wanted us to have the community center. We feel like He planted this vision in our heart. He started sending the provision, and so we just started walking by faith. And I used to be a resident at the Manor House. I had stayed there 8 months. I was a meth addict for 17 years, and so I still give back over there to those guys. I do devotions every week with them, and they got a little coffee shop in there. I walk into the coffee shop, and there's a gentleman standing in there talking to Larry behind the counter. And right when I walk into the coffee shop, I hear the words come out of his mouth. Hey, so Larry, tell me what's going on in Brookshire. And it was like on cue. He pointed at me and he said, that's the guy you need to talk to right there. And I said, well, yes, sir. We've been reaching out to kids for quite some time out here. And we do mentoring in the school, and we do a little organic church gathering with him. And he goes, well, tell me about where you meet. And I said, well, we do our Hip Hop Hope outreaches. Really, we don't have a home. We'll meet anywhere. We'll meet under a big white tent. We do them on our front porch here. We'd have the front porch would be a stage. He goes, have you ever thought about using this old school in Brookshire Gardens? And I said, well, yes, sir. We talked to the city about using it at one point because we had heard they had the lease on it, and they wanted to charge us just to use it for Hip Hop Hope one night a week. And, we're kind of a small organization. We can't really afford that. And he goes, oh, you won't have to worry about it. I own that building.
And so 3.5 years later, after not being able to find real estate, not being able to find a building, we finally arrived at this blessed place, the Hangar Unity Center. And the reason it's not a youth center is because God wanted to do something bigger and have a place where we could not only host youth, but also do things for the community that would bring all demographics, all ethnicities together, young, old, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, all together in one place. And so when this building was offered to us and we came in, it was like, whoa, we're gonna need some work. This place is not attractive. It's old paint from looked like the 70s, and buildings were rusted down. Some had locks on them. Nobody had the key to the lock, so you couldn't even go in the gym and see what it was. One of the buildings was used like as a horse stable. You had hay, and
all that money that we raised to buy a building, we used to renovate this existing building that was built a long time ago. And so we were able to use that money for a much greater purpose.
We've had a few church partners that have believed in us with small contributions, not necessarily enough to do a Hangar Unity Center. But there's this church called Kingsland Baptist Church that when they stepped in, they just mobilized so many people that we got things done quick. And for nothing. They literally took care of the labor force to get a lot of the work around here done, and donated our gymnasium equipment. So Kingsland Baptist Church literally catalyzed us quicker than it would have taken us on our own to get this place up and running.
The Hangar has moved into this community at a strategic point in history, and they are changing lives because they are here. That takes resources, human resources and financial resources, and we're excited about providing both of those to the work of the Hangar.
We've served over 25,000 people out of the Hangar, and we've launched a variety of programs that have just gone to serve every segment just kind of like we planned. There's a ladies group that meets every Monday night. There's fitness classes. We have the only workout facility in the community of Brookshire. We do a soccer program to reach the kids of the community every Monday night. One of the neatest things that we've launched is a program that was aimed to serve the men of Brookshire called Frontline on Tuesday nights.
I am heavily vested and invested into our Tuesday night Frontline ministries with our young men. We started last year reaching the men of the community and realized 6 months in that we were not reaching the men of the community because they're absentee. But we looked up and realized that the young men were loving it. The teenagers were all about it. So we all shifted gears, refocused, came up with a brand new idea and program, if you would, of a star player, coaches, time together on Tuesday nights where we spend time with these teenagers.
And that's something we've never seen the youth plug into, is Christian-related activities, much less even a mentorship program. I don't even know of a mentorship program in Brookshire right now that's thriving like the Star Players program is. So it's made a huge difference in the lives of young boys who are fatherless or who have absentee fathers, and that's one of the blessings of having a place like the Hangar. You can do that here.
My coach has really helped me talk my situations out. Like some of the problems I have, he gave me solutions to it. Yeah, it's really making me change my life around.
The Hangar has impacted my life in so many ways. It has helped me grow spiritually. It has helped me make new friends, and it has just made me a better person.
Imagine us being able to train people in a trade, whether it's t-shirt printing or studio audio engineering or construction 101. Well, this multi-service building in the back, if we get it up and running, we can start doing that with students and young men. Full court basketball, imagine how many people would come to the Hangar that we could touch. What about the soccer fields across the street? If we could get the fence up around there and get the soccer programs going and get a league started, we can do all that here at the Hangar. It's just gonna take support.
They become my friends. And there's no one that I trust anymore than Dennis, Trey, and Eyes on Me Ministry. There is a complete and total trust that I know that they are stewarding not only my time, they're stewarding my finances that I contribute.
I'll tell you what Kingsland loves about Eyes on Me and what's happening not only at Brookshire but all over the city of Houston is there's so many places you invest, and there's a lot of administration where they talk about what they're going to do, and they have committees to plan what they might do sometime, and then they have committees to plan what they'll do, and they plan. And what I love, Eyes on Me's just doing it. I mean, just jump in and do it. And so when you invest dollars in Eyes on Me, you have this direct impact into the kingdom that's really rare.
When you come to an Eyes on Me event here, people see something that really hasn't been seen before in Brookshire. All these ethnicities and ages coming together and doing something fun. And so this building has really allowed the community to come alive, and we got a lot of work to do. We got a long way to go, but I've seen, joy through this place. I've seen joy return to the community. I feel like people are ready to stand up and do more for their community because of the unity that's been expressed here.
Being here with my friends, it's like a second home. Can't help but to smile when I come here.